Amazon, a 362-ton, three-masted bark, was built at St. Helier shipyards in the Jersey Islands by Frederick Charles Clark, shipbuilder, in 1855. No photographs exist of the ship, but she looked very similar to this. For the next 8 years she travelled the world carrying cargo as varied as coal, flour and sugar. In December 1863 she departed Port Phillip Bay in Victoria, Australia, bound for Mauritius, carrying only ballast. After leaving Port Phillip Heads, she got only as far west as Apollo Bay, where she encountered a major storm, which soon reached hurricane force. Forced back east, Captain Ogier tried to steer the ship back into Port Phillip Bay, but was prevented from doing so by the conditions. Now, at the mercy of the storm, Amazon ploughed further east through towering seas until she struck flat rocks at what is now present-day Inverloch. The Amazon was critically damaged, and the master made the decision to drive her up onto the beach at Inverloch, and all of the crew made it safely ashore. On the 17th of December 1863, the crew managed to hoist a marine distress flag on the beach. 4 days later, a lone traveller saw the distress flag and investigated. He was young Mr. Heels, an 18-year-old heading home to Melbourne to spend Christmas with his parents. He invited Captain Ogier to accompany him. The captain did so, and in time a rescue vessel was dispatched to pick up the crew. The Argus newspaper on the 7th of January reported that the crew was safely returned to Hobson's Bay in Melbourne on the 5th of January 1864. Over time, the ship succumbed to the vagaries of weather and eventually broke up and sank into the beach sand. It has reappeared intermittently over the years. In September 2024, during a huge storm, the wreck became visible about 60 metres further east from where it had last been seen in 2018. It is about 160 years since the ship was wrecked, and all that remains are a few timbers. A mix of air and water create conditions in which bacteria survive and thrive on wood. Some components, such as iron, survive, and many artefacts have been recovered for preservation under the guidance of Heritage Victoria. While some items have been on display at the Inverloch Community Hub, there are calls for a permanent museum to house the relics for viewing by the public. There are some 660 wrecks along the Victorian coast, a number that gives some idea about the dangers faced in those times. Although many have been documented, not all can be seen. As a viewable wreck of a wooden ship, the Amazon is a rarity and well worth a visit. But don't be too long. Who knows when it might disappear again? It is best seen at low tide. Please remember that the wreck is protected under heritage laws and must not be tampered with. Please look, but do not touch.